It's the best of Bennington.
What do you like better, prom or homecoming?
Well, homecoming we didn't have to wear a tux to.
Right, that's got to be the better one.
Yeah, and no one cried if they didn't have a date to homecoming.
You know, somebody told me about this really crazy ritual tradition that they do in Texas with homecoming. Have you ever heard of this, where they make these giant, like, weird ribbons, and the girls have to wear these like full body length ribbons, and like the homecoming boyfriend makes them wear it? It looks insane. I've never seen anything like it.
Look, honey, somebody was lying to you,
No.
and you stupidly bought it.
No, I did not stupidly buy it.
Why would they have a ribbon, like a dress ribbon?
I'm telling you, I don't know the name of it. It has a crazy name, but it's Texas.
Is it Fake It?
No. Texas homecoming dates wear full body ribbons, like they look like they're coming off a horse race. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There they are. This is what they wear to homecoming in Texas. They're crazy.
Looks like a sash.
What is it called? Does it say?
It was just Texas homecoming ribbons.
No, there's a name.
Mums.
Mums. That's it. Mums. Mums, the word.
I've never heard of this before.
Why would they make
And
it?
They look like mummers. That's the weird thing. It looks like a mummer's outfit.
And then I think that they get them made, like florists will make them for you, and then the girls will like wear them, like, look at the mum that my boyfriend got me. And they're hideous. I don't understand how it would even get started. Look at these nuts. And that's what they wear to homecoming.
Does that mean that one line's going off there, Chris?
Yeah, that means that they haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, tell them to get on the word there, because I'm sure we're getting some mum picked up, but I don't know who's running the phones.
Boots K.
He had a very bad night last night, he told me about.
Oh my, is he okay?
It's nothing that any normal person would think was a big deal out of.
Click this one here.
Go to line 1 too, Chris. Go ahead. Joe, you're on the air.
Yeah, there's you guys talking about the wild prom or the prom proposals. There was a Middle Eastern looking feller that asked a girl to prom. He strapped a look at the weird video. He got kicked out of school. He strapped a fake bomb to his waist.
Yeah.
And said, "Go with me to prom. I'm the bomb," or something like that.
Yeah, he tried to do a whole fun thing like that, and it didn't work out. This is how crazy they are at paying attention to prom. Should I just go to these lines without even knowing? Go to line 5 while we're sitting here. Hey, hi, you're on the air on Bennington.
Is it me?
Yes, I imagine.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is Beverly. I'm in Texas, and I actually had a mum like that. We wear them during the day, and it's a bizarre practice to be sure, but we don't wear them to the dance. I don't know where it comes from, but it's a competitive thing. The bigger the mum, the more your date is supposed to care
what
about
part of
you.
Texas is this?
I'm from Dallas, but it's something that I've seen done across the state.
And where do you wear these ribbons at, and who are you competing against?
Well, I went to a small private school, and so there was a lot of showiness with it anyway.
And it's showiness? Like you're wearing a fucking ribbon like an idiot. You wouldn't wear this in real life.
Ridiculous. And they tie bells and stupid stuff to them. It makes an incredible amount of noise. And you pin them to your shirt. And, like, girls will actually wear an extra sports bra so it doesn't drag their shirt down all day.
All right. Now, where do you wear this? To school?
Yeah, they wear it at school all day. And actually, at our school and most of the ones in Dallas, they have something called a garter that the guys wear. And it's like a wedding leg garter in your school colors with a little mum on it that goes on his arm all day.
This is madness.
And you would compete against your own friends to be like, oh, look, she got a tiny mum, so obviously he doesn't love her very much.
So he makes it for you?
No, actually, most of the time, there's like entire businesses dedicated to the production of these things. No. It's insane.
Somebody's in the mum business.
Somebody's like, it's mum season, guys. Get working.
Oh, no, it is. They have order forms, and you can get completely absurd with it. The mom shop is the one that does all the ones in the Dallas area.
All right, let's go to line 2, Steve. Line 2. Steve.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing, buddy?
Good, pal.
Hey, yeah, my son's a sophomore at a high school in Leander, Texas, and he made one for his girlfriend last year. He actually had to put a strap, like a guitar strap, because it would weigh like 20 pounds to go around her neck, and pin it to her shirt. And I can't believe these girls wear that kind of stuff.
So this wasn't around when you were younger in Texas?
No, matter of fact, I'm from Tampa, Florida, because I used to listen to you on the Ron and Ron show. And when I moved to Texas, I finally found you guys on XM. And, man, I missed you guys until I found you guys.
Oh, that's very cool to hear. So this was like a weird thing for you to work into.
Yeah, we've been out here 20 years. And when I first time I saw it, I was like, what are you doing? This looks like something the Centaur would wear.
What? Good point. All right, thanks. All right, let's go to Mike in Texas. That's line 3. How you doing, Mike? Welcome to Bennington.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I'm from Texas, and when I was in high school, like, my girlfriend was a cheerleader, and she was 5 foot, and the mom I had to buy her was like over 6 foot. And her being a cheerleader, she had to have the biggest mom with the longest ribbons and the bells and the whistles and all that shit hanging off of it. And then she bought me, like this other girl said a while ago, bought me this garter that went around my arm. And I graduated in the early 90s, and they were doing this shit. I paid like about $350 for this damn thing.
Wow.
$300 in the early 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it was
would
crazy.
be almost $330 today. All right, thanks, Mike. Texas, you are crazy for this.
I had no idea they would be worth hundreds of dollars. I saw this and I thought, that's got to be like an arts and crafts kind of silly thing. You could probably make that on your own.
866-766-0339, 866-766-0339. Now, I'm telling you right now, I see these things, and I'd much rather pay $300 than spend the time making that myself. I could not sit and make a ribbon dress for a girl that she would appreciate.
I would end up just getting some rubber bands and some flowers and just here, rubber band these to your arm.
I would take the ribbon, wrap it around my neck, and then tie it over a post and jump.
How many mum-related fights do you think there are?
I can't imagine the mum pressure that they have in Texas. Texas, you are out of your mind. And why hasn't Oklahoma picked this up yet? They copy enough there in Oklahoma. Why don't they jump on it? Now let's go over here to Mike. Mike on line. Oh, let's go to Jason in Texas, line 1. Jason.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, yeah, so my daughter got asked to homecoming. We live in Waco, and my daughter got asked to homecoming, and the kid couldn't afford the mom, so we said that we would pick it up. And we spent $500 on this X thing.
I would rather buy those 2 kids a weekend getaway and letting them explore each other.
Easy.
Easy. I find it more weird that they would do this mom dress.
This is a waste of $500. Doesn't make any sense.
No, none of it makes sense.
Just ribbon, though. What? Why would it be $500?
Well, you could say, why is it? Look at Chris's T-shirt. He spent a $1 on that, but
right,
that's only got to be 75 cents worth of material. I mean, just going out and buying that much ribbon has got to be. I've never bought ribbon outside of something that goes on top of a box, and that's like what, $5?
All right, you're making a good point here.
And I'm usually pissed about that because I'm not going to use all that ribbon.
All right, Pepper just said, rubber band flowers around their wrist. That's what dudes wear. Gay. This came up. Pepper has lice. Flee the studio.
Don't have lice.
It's weird that she would say flee the studio.
Yeah.
It's more like
the girls also give mums to the boys. They are so large that they have battery packs with flashing lights.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, my God.
Can we play Saturday games soon? Mick Jagger, Keith Richards. People always bring up those 2 names. Let's go to line 6. Toby. How you doing, Toby?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah, I grew up in a tiny little town, East Texas, and my mother, that's what she did. Every fall for homecoming was she made the mums. And we are talking thousands of dollars that she would make in a town of less than 1,000 people.
Now, where does this tradition go back to?
I grew up in Texas, was born there, and it's just always been there. But these things, the actual architecture that goes into these, you're just seeing all the ribbons. You don't see the structure behind those things. It takes endless hours to make those monstrosities.
Can't someone in Texas to say, wait, why are we doing this madness? Can't there be one sane person who say, why are we buying ribbon and constructing it up into this strange kind of third world headdress?
No one else is doing this. Why are we? This is crazy as shit. Wait, hey, everybody. You realize no one else is doing this?
We don't have to keep making ribbon mums. We can move on.
Texas is a silly place. I didn't never realize we were so silly.
Baby, get your mum on. It's Thursday night. I want you to have the prettiest mum that there is.
This mom ain't big enough.
That mum is plenty large enough for you. Now get in the truck. I'm going to drive you into town. Show off them mums. Come on. I'm calling you now. Come on over.
Amy Lou's got teddy bears on her mums.
Why don't you just stop eating that half-gallon of ice cream and put it down? You're going to end up ruining your mum dress. Now, Skeeter's gonna be here in another 15 minutes, and you ain't even got your mum on.
I don't give a good goddamn about Skeeter. All I care about's my mum.
Listen, I want to go out in the backyard and take a shit. When I get back in here, I want to see your mum dress on, and you and Skeeter be ready for that picture. All my kids wear mums. When I'll see you in that mum dress, you're prettier than the day I met your mother, who was also in a mum dress. I was wearing a mum suit, and I'd mummed up the truck. God, you bring a tear to my eye, darling. A tear to my eye. I'll go to Bill in Texas, line 3. Yeah.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I grew up in Astoria, moved here 9 years ago, and we have a really good football team in our town. And
everybody does for some reason in Texas.
Yeah. The first football game I went to, I had no idea that this homecoming thing happened the way it happens, and my wife and my daughters were taking pictures and hysterical, laughing at these people, and it was not taken to very kindly. But last year, what they decided to do was they encouraged the kids, instead of spending the money, $200-300 on these crazy displays, they encouraged them to donate the money to charity. And our town, for the most part, did that. And the holdouts, the kids that had to show off, were actually mocked by all the people in the stands during the football games. It seems to be going away, at least in our town. So someone had the common sense to say, hey, let's do something else.
What's the name of this mumless town that you live in?
It's called South Lake. We even saw some that had battery packs in them that had lights flashing, and the girls would carry the battery pack under their shirts in the back. It's ridiculous.
All right, thank you so much.
They're trying to take away our mums.
I had mums, my daddy had mums, my granddaddy had mums. They want to take away these mums, they're going to have to kill me first.
Over my dead body.
I found 2 Mexicans hiding inside my daughter's mums. They're trying to get across the border. Honey, I can't drive you to town, too drunk on tequila. Take a case in the truck. Watch out you don't sit down on that shotgun. Go to line 6, Kenny in Texas. I love the Texas people. They're one of a kind. You know what I mean? Like, it's the only state that just goes balls out about what they're doing. Kenny, what's the mom situation where you live?
I live in Huffman, Texas, which is about 40 miles north of actually Houston. I had pictures of my mom with her mom on, all my aunts and uncles. The story that I've always heard is that it was used to intimidate the other team as far as school colors and spirit and everything else during homecoming games.
All right, so if the other team saw your fans dressed in ribbons, it would throw them.
Yep.
Coach, we can't win this game. Look at the amount of mums those people have.
You know, it doesn't make any sense, but, man, it's, you know, my daughter just went to her first homecoming. We spent, I think we spent about $250 on a garter for her boyfriend.
Why? Because it's tradition. I love this now. These people of Texas have decided we have our own traditions we're not following, and that to me is like a rite of passage. And do you really want to be the first class that didn't wear mums in the history of Texas? Or do you want to put your mum on?
I'd rebel against the mum thing if I were living in Texas.
First of all, you've never made it to 12th grade, so you wouldn't even have a chance at mums.
I don't want the mums anyway.
I can tell you right now, I would not be a girl wearing a mum.
You wouldn't do it?
I don't think I would do it. I can't see me doing that, even when I was in high school.
I don't know why this didn't come up in Dazed and Confused.
I'd be
Buck
smoking
says
around
this.
back, not putting on that mum.
They can have my mums when they pry them from my cold dead cousin / girlfriend's hands. Shrek has said, did Ron just said that he'd take me to prom? Yes. I will take you to prom. Yeah, I'm going to take everybody to prom this year.
So you mummed her, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to mum her. I'm going to mum her first night. And I don't think that says anything bad about her.
I don't mum on the first date.
Let's go over here. It just says to Kansas in Texas. Line 6. Yes.
It's actually Candace.
Candace.
Yeah. Astronaut's wife. My mom was so sad because I refused to wear a mum to prom. She was just mortified that I wouldn't wear it. You know, as opposed to my sister that was 10 years older than me, and she actually still has her mum. She was a cheerleader and, you know, cherishes them. They're so silly. They're such a waste of money.
What do you do with them? You hang them up on the wall or something afterwards?
Yeah, she had them on her wall for years, and then eventually they moved into the closet where all the memories go, and then my mom packed them up and sent her away with them when she left, and she's got them in her closet now.
And she's saving them for her babies when they grow up to be mum age.
Do you pass down a mum, or do you always have to buy it new?
No, you gotta buy a new one. You can't have an old mum.
But sometimes you want to take your mum out and just take a look at it. Like, my God, look how thin I was then.
Oh,
It only took this many ribbons to cover up my ass.
Can't believe I used to fit into this mum.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Kansas and Texas. Go to, this says Daryl in Houston. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie? $2.
What do you say, dude?
Hey, buddy. Hey, I lived in Clearwater for like 25 years, moved to Houston 4 years ago, and I have no children. And they sell these gigantic things in the grocery stores for hundreds of dollars. And if you're a short girl, it's almost like you're wearing an Indian headdress.
Yeah,
like
they do have a headdress look about them.
Yeah,
but they don't show off the girl in any way. Like, it's not a sexy thing.
No.
It's not a flashy thing. It's not a hot thing. It's a weird kind of strange throwback deal.
It's the most unattractive thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's going
I'm sorry.
ways.
I'm not talking about the girls, I'm talking about the mums.
Well, see, here's the deal. Being in Philly, they have the Mummers Parade every year, which is another weird thing. And one of the things I really love about Philly, you know what I mean? That they do this bizarre thing that makes no sense to everyone else. I don't want the world to look like a P.F. Chang's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want the world to be different wherever you go. And I now love Texas even more for this. And for Willie Nelson yesterday. He's from Abbott, Texas. Nice little town of Abbott. That's where I grew up.
Wonder if you ever had a mum on.
I think he's a pre-mum age.
Good.
Go to Matt in Winchester. Matt, what's up?
Hey, Ron. I was wondering what Hookadoo's take is on the mum dress.
No one's going to ever set up Hookadoo. That's not the way we play here. Go to Matt in line 2. Everyone's named Matt today.
Hello, is this me?
Yes, I think it is you.
Hey, Ryan, Gail, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Good.
Hey, the mom. Let me tell you, I've been mumming for years, but we did it back in the '80s, and still doing it with my kids today. But it's actually the flower. The mum is the flower, and I think if you look up mum, it's the flower, and then they hang all kinds of shit from the flower.
So there is a flower in this dress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The actual deal is a flower. It's a big ass flower, like about 3 inches in diameter, maybe 4 inches.
All right, so you're wearing just a big flower, and then you tie these ribbons to make the flower disappear on your shirt.
And they usually try to make the flower like the school colors. Like ours was maroon and white, and that mum was maroon and white, and then they'll hang any and everything off them ribbons, but Gail was right. They're about 5 feet long, the ribbon. And but I'm really surprised that somebody hadn't called in that Texas is the only state. I mean, I thought this was everywhere.
I love that.
I had news for you. I had never even heard of it before. I have never heard of this. And when Gail started bringing it up, I was just staring at her. I did not understand the concept.
I feel like some backwoods. God dang. We're just normal. I live right on the beach here, man. I mean, everything's... You got rednecks bound, the dope heads bound.
No, I get it, but it seems to be very much of a Texas thing, and that's what's cool about it, is like most traditions, right? I mean, if you think about hanging your stocking over a fireplace and then have that sock filled with candy the next day, if you tried to explain that to someone, they'd be like, wait, in your socks? No, you buy a very special sock.
It's a giant one.
That an old man slides down in the middle of the night and fills it. But you would think it was crazy not to have a Christmas stocking,
You could do the same thing for any tradition that involves a wedding. Like, we wear a white dress to symbolize the virgin woman.
Oh, so she's a virgin? No.
No, but she wears a veil to cover her virgin face. She's given away by her father, like property, which we no longer do, but we still do this symbol of.
They actually say this in church. Who gives this woman over? And then the man says, I do. And that's what the dad says, I give her.
She's mine.
That's the funny thing is, like, we have this old tradition. Some people will still do it, where the man will go to the other man and say, I want to ask you if I can have your daughter's hand in marriage, and it'll be up for that man then and say, yeah, sure. But is that the only question the guy ever asked the father? Does he go there and is like, I wanted to ask you if I could take your daughter to the Hamptons this weekend. We've been living together for a couple years, and I think a good getaway would work for us. Sure. But also, on the way out there, I wanted to stop, and we were going to buy clams, and I just wanted to know, would it be okay?
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, if I could get your daughter to eat clams with me.
You think oysters would be better, actually?
Now, you've been dating your chick for a long time, right?
Yes.
Could you imagine going to her family and asking of them?
Like, I've always seen like on television or whatever, right? Where I would feel like crazy. I would feel totally insane with any decision, like, I gotta ask your dad first.
Well, think from the woman's perspective. It's just like, you talked this over with my father
Yeah,
first
don't worry.
before discussing it with
He and I have made the decision.
How dare you?
It's bizarre.
You don't have to think about anything.
Me and your father have decided that we're a great match for each other, and we should spend the rest of our lives together.
I was also hoping I could take her to a Yankees game.
They're hot right now. I mean, they're looking
Is that
good.
right? Where would the seats be? I mean,
Bleacher, it's last minute.
I'm not sure I can do that.
Oh, come on.
I can't dare think of my daughter in the bleachers watching.
You're going to have a hat for her? I don't want her in the sun too long.
It's another $40.
Gilbert in Texas wants to, on line 5, wants to help us out. Go ahead, Gilbert.
How you doing?
Yeah.
All right. Just real quick, I wanted to reiterate on the month. Whenever we were younger, we did it through high school, which was the homecoming, and it would be on the first home game from an away game. So we'd play an away game, and then we would come home to play a game, and then our garters would be waiting for us from our date, and we would have their moms.
I can't imagine, dude. It seems like a lot of pressure and a lot of extra time taken into a kid's life.
It is, a lot of people enjoy it throughout their high school career.
I'm sure they would.
People actually.
But what if a girl didn't have a? What about a girl who didn't have a date? Did she feel bad?
No, because there's people who go to these damn things by themselves.
Who mums them then?
What's that?
Who gives them the mum if they don't have a date?
Their cousin.
Their dad.
Their dad gets a guy from work to do it.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Go ahead. You'd have been gone by now.
He's gone. Yeah. No, he's gone.
Uncomfortability already happened.
Oh.
I think we need to break here. I am told that Pitak has dropped us off some chicken parm.
Yes, he has. Apparently,
he's a good man.
He dropped them off and then disappeared like a ghost, is how it was described.
Who described it that way?
The person who greeted him at the front from this building. They're like, it was ghost-like.
Really?
Security guard was like, it's...
Just turned around and they saw him walk into the mist.
He disappeared.
All he left behind was the small mum.
I wanted a big mum.
You shut up about the size of your mum. You lucky you got any mum at all.
All the boys are trying to get up in this mum.
I don't know if I can take a mum from you right now. I'm gonna look around for a while. You know, boys, I offered her a mum, and all I got back, it's a spit in the face. I've sworn off women, and I've sworn off mums. That's it for me. It's a bachelor life from this point on. Just a lone wolf traveling around Texas. All right? Me and the tumbleweeds in West Texas. I'll tie a couple of them together and make a mum out of that. I thought I had a girlfriend that was a mirage.
That's not a mum, that's a tumbleweed.
That's my life from this point on. No more mums, no more women. I'm so upset I went and swallowed a bullfrog.
You have to try to do that.
You know what? I'd rather shit in my boot and put it back on my foot than make you a goddamn mum, lady. I ain't worn a shirt to school since the 7th grade. And now I'm supposed to sit here and put together a mum for you. You're out of your fuckhead mind. Why can't you just take a magic marker and scribble them over your tits and go to the football game that way? You don't need me. I don't understand the mum thing, but I admire it. I admire it in a giant way.
So quirky.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of gypsies. Gypsies go out all out with like crazy dresses, and they have like specific like people that make these gigantic, ridiculous dresses. It sounds exactly like that. It's like gypsy culture.
Sarah said, "What about your family, Mumford and Sons? What do you do for each other?"
We actually our mums are passed down, unlike in Texas.
I found a dead coyote next to the road, and I put some ribbons on it, and I'm taking it to promenade. I don't give two shits. We've lost every goddamn game for the last 4 years. Now you're asking me to make up ribbons? Our stupid-ass football team punts on second down.
It's bad coaching.
I think I have mum envy.
Yeah, I do too.
I kind of want a mum now. I hope someone gives me a mum.
Now, the biggest comedian of the 80s has pretty much turned his back on comedy, right down to the fact that when he was on Saturday Night Live for the 40th reunion, he didn't have any jokes to tell. He just came out and said, "Thank you, everyone, for liking me years ago."
It's a pleasant intro.
Yeah.
What is he working on instead of comedy, of course? He is doing Jamaican reggae music. We're talking about Eddie Murphy. He's got a brand new song out, and he's wearing a Jewish star for some reason.
That's part of that Jewish star is part of the Rasta thing. The Rasta religion, Rastafarian religion.
The Jewish star is.
Yeah, that symbol. It's not like it's. I don't know the name of it, but it's part of the. It's in the Rastafarian culture.
But it's not the Star of David. It's something else.
I think so. Yeah.
No, you don't think so. You know it's the Star of David. That was the word you were trying to think of, right?
Star of David.
Yes.
But it's also used in Rastafarian religion
and Christian religion, and because Christian.
It's all part.
We
of it.
all come from that. So this is what Eddie Murphy is doing instead of comedy. Maybe we could do an old school smash or trash for this. I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay.
I expect there to be some references to Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours, Trading Places. I think he'll probably be bringing those up in his lyrics.
Night Professor.
I hope so, Chris. I know that's your favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Let's listen. What's the name of this song?
Oh, Ja Ja.
Oh, Ja Ja. I guess it's about Ja Ja Binks. 866-766-0339. Give us a smash or trash on this. All right, so that is Eddie Murphy and his new reggae single, Oh Ja Ja. Gail, where are you on this one?
I loved it. I think it sounds great. All reggae sounds pretty similar.
Yes,
and it's kind of like one song, but it's a good song.
It is a good tune.
It's a really good song.
And his voice is there,
He's putting on a little accent a little bit.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, of doing the accent. I still think he should have done it as Eddie Murphy, and I would have liked. But, from his point of view, let's suppose you don't know that it's Eddie Murphy. You don't have any problem with it at all. You would say if that was just the song that you heard.
If you were listening to reggae, that song came on, you wouldn't say, "Hey, what is this? This doesn't sound like a real reggae song."
If I was listening to reggae, the chances are pretty high I'd be down in the islands around a pool, where I'm very easy on my judgment as it is. All right, let's go over to Kendall, line 1. Hey, Kendall.
The only word I can think of to describe it is babuli 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 buha babuli 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 buha.
Okay, thanks. So, is that a smash for you? Let's go to line 4, Dan.
Hey, buddies.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I don't really have a big problem with it. It just seems like it's really cliche. I think he just listened to a bunch of reggae music and tried to pick out, the Jamaican words like Zion and Babylon and Lion of Judah.
Yeah, Gail made a good point that there's not far to go in this type of music. You're pretty much stuck into it.
A lot of reggae sounds.
Yeah, he only missed one thing. He forgot to say Jah Rastafari.
So, what are you giving him? A smash or trash? Oh, you're gone. Let's go over to Tony, line 3. Tony. Yeah.
Hey.
What do you got, pal?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's a smash. That's a toe tapper. I like it.
It's a real toe tap.
I agree with Tony.
Yeah, Tony is right. You were tapping your toe a little
I was
bit.
tapping my toe. I was feeling it.
Is this wrong? I was actually tapping my heel. Can that ever be done?
Sure, go ahead.
I haven't heard Stanley Bennington open his mouth.
Oh, ja. More like, oh, nah.
Oh, no.
Trash.
No.
We lost you. Why?
I want my Rasta man and Rasta music to have dreads. The being a bald head is not good for me.
All right, so if you were just... Now, we want you to judge it by the music.
Just by the music alone,
Yeah.
well, it's a smash.
Okay, so
convincing.
that's... Your big problem was he did not have dreads, but the guys in the band do.
I think it's crazy how much it sounds like a real reggae song.
Yeah, which doesn't really help.
He's about ready to burn down the cane fields. I love it.
People are shooting babies.
Boomba clot. Blood clot.
Jake, line 6. Jake.
Hey, Benningtons.
Hey, what's up?
I just wanted to say Gail has been a great addition. She was way better than that old host that you used to have. I forget his name.
You know, we never need to sit and compare, but she is doing great.
She's fantastic. And also, I heard that Stanley was 69 and a bunch of dudes up at that party last weekend.
Yes,
right?
that is true. That's how
he
he
got
ended
those
up.
bites.
Yeah, getting the bites.
Those weren't love bites. I wasn't 69, no dudes.
All right. Well, anyway, I liked Eddie Murphy's song. I thought it was great.
All right, thanks. But this is funny. Gail climbed over my head to get to the bite joke.
I stifled him, choking him out. It's a bite.
Bite.
This is about Eddie Murphy, not my getaway weekend.
Oh.
Straight getaway weekend.
Oh. For John. Line 4, John. Yes.
Hey there, Ronnie B.
Hey.
Hey, you can't take a guy seriously singing Jamaican music who doesn't have a Jamaican accent. Kind of like Shaggy or the white guy Snow trying to be Jamaican.
But let's say this. The Police kind of did that plastic reggae sound. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, I never turn off a Police song. If someone said, oh, do you like the Police? I'd say, kind of. But if I'm in my car and it's like, don't stand so close to me, I'm always like, don't stand. Don't stand. So it's amazing how many great bands they got, how many great songs that band has.
British dudes love reggae with a passion. All the punk guys loved reggae. They all love it.
Gwen Stefani used to fuck with some reggae.
Yeah, she had her own thing for it. But yeah, you're right. Like even Clapton did long before we heard about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like when he did "I Shot the Sheriff," people hadn't heard of Marley yet.
No, not at all. Yeah.
And Gail has all these cousins named after people Marley's.
That's right.
One's actually named. One of the kids is named Marley. Mm-hmm. Marley.
Rasta
is another one.
That's great names.
Yeah, I know these are fantastic.
That's awesome.
Rebel is also one of them too.
Anyone named Babylon?
Mm-hmm.
We're
hoping for 4.
Yeah, we're hoping for one more. Let's go to Gary in Canada. Gary.
Hey, Ron, I'm going to have to trash this one.
Why?
I just don't think his voice is genuine. He's about as genuine singing Jamaican as Al Jolson singing Mammy.
All right, I could understand that.
He was putting on a little accent there.
Well, this is the genre he's in. Raga, reggae, okay? And he's putting on a little ja.
All right, let me read some of these. Trash. He will now be referred to as Charlie Murphy's brother.
No.
Pepper thinks that Hagar slacks are made by Sammy Hagar. That's not dressing like a... Green says about this song, I think he forgot how to be funny. I don't know, I was laughing. I think Eddie needs to throw in the phrase 3 little birds. That's from Mass Listener. Sounds like Eddie Murphy's new character is Bob Marley, but like a cousin twice removed. What the hell did you put in the trash? It stinks. Can't listen to Eddie Murphy doing reggae seriously because I think of all the times he's made fun of it. Liz sets fire. Smash. I'm a sucker for reggae. I'm sure you live in South Florida. All right. Random Donk says the new Eddie Murphy song is Ja making me wish you'd go back to Gumby, damn it. G-Man says, well, it's no party all the time. Genetic reggae. Sounds like reggae to people who don't know reggae, which is all of us, to be totally honest.
Sure.
All right, let's go through quick. Meatface, what do you got? Smash or trash?
Hey, I say it's a smash, but it doesn't compare to my girl wants to party all the time, party all the time.
Brian, what do you got for us?
Yes, does this make him no finger lion?
Johnny in Queens, what do you got?
Yeah, listen, it's a smash, but I like Eddie Murphy's 80s reggae tune, Kill All the White People.
Andrew in New Jersey.
Hey, Ronnie B. I think it's a smash. Do you think Lauren would let her come back to be a musical guest?
Here's Dave in Chicago.
Yeah, I wanted to hate it because of his past endeavors, but it's a smash. I guess the good generic reggae song.
Here is Jay in California.
God damn, that boy can sing. He good. He real good.
Thank you.
That was a smash. That counts as a smash.
The smash is, I mean, if we were working the phones in a radio station, we'd have to give this thing more spins.
I know. It's like the callers are smash and the Twitter is trash.
I know. It's really an interesting thing, right? Twitter is much more cynical than the old telephone.
It's a hit, Eddie. Don't feel bad, okay? Because when we're talking to people in real time, they're all loving it. And he said that he put this out there, and if people responded, he's going to put out an album of reggae.
Okay, so it's up to us now. It's in our hands.
Exactly. We should get this guy to be putting out an album of reggae music. I want to
I
hear
think we should greenlight this.
I wish that he would come back with 54 hours.
Oh, ja, ja, oh,
This could be the first step.
Oh, ja, ja, binks. Beep, beep, beep. Eddie Murphy, this is Joe Piscopo. Do you need a drummer? I've been thinking about Frank Sinatra doing reggae music. Let's go back to the phones. Aaron, line 1.
Hey, what's up, man?
Smash your trash.
Hey, fucking trash. That's terrible. And I want to say Gail's laugh is the hottest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That makes me uncomfortable.
That's a smash for my laugh. Thank you.
Here's Randy. Randy.
Hey, what's up, Bennington?
Hey.
I hate to say it, but I got to go with Chris on this one. The band was good because they were authentic, but Eddie was faking it.
All right, let's go to John. John, smash your trash.
It's a smash, and you got to check out the Snoop Lion duet with Eddie Murphy.
All right, what is happening there with the Snoop Lion?
I know he did a duet with him.
Yeah, I think this is about...
What did you just do?
I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button.
You know why?
Why is that?
You're fucking stoned. You're stoned, dude, all day long.
You're popping beaters, man.
He wants to beat her all the time, beat her all the time, beat her all the time. What's happening with you, dude?
I'm finding that Snoop Lion Eddie Murphy song.
No, we're moving on.
He's trying to make
now.
it better.
Okay.
Let him make
We
it better.
ruined it. You're always going off script. I think it got closer towards the end, but it's well, Jack says it's no Jamaican Me Swayze. I gotta agree with that. Sharky says I'm not gonna smash or trash. It's just there.
Okay. You have to have an opinion. No, it's either a smash or a trash.
I'm going to put that in the smash category.
A lot of people are saying all tango sounds the same too. Yeah, but we're not doing tango. We all need that one friend to tell us no. Yeah, that's what money does for you. You don't end up with a no friend anymore. He says reggae. More like gay Jay.
Okay. Smash, then?
Steve says not as good as Rob Ford's version.
Well, Rob Ford could speak authentic patois.
He was the craziest thing I ever saw in my life.
It was amazing. That video of him, it was like he was like in a McDonald's or an Arby's.
Holy shit, I didn't even know that we had a hotline here. Did you know this?
I thought it was just a regular line.
For all I know, Johnny's been trying to get a hold of us for days. It's Hard Rock Johnny. Johnny, do you want the pants?
I do. I want the pants. It is a definite smash, but I can't understand. On the pad date, it said it was Eddie Murphy.
No,
What?
That's fucking.
That
You're
did-
so
no.
high, dude.
No.
I can't believe
You're
it.
so high.
Eddie Murphy. I was like, it sounds like Eddie Murphy, but it says Eddie Murphy. I don't get it.
Poofy?
Yes.
Did you write Moofy?
I did not write.
I like that he's answering to Poofy now.
Yes.
No, don't call me that. First of all,
You know why you answer that?
Why is that?
Because you're so fucking high, man. You're so stoned.
keeping it together.
I got high with Chris yesterday.
How did you get here?
I just heard the reggae music and came running in. I am in a fucking smash. Chris, remember this from last night? Bong hits.
I do. I love you, Puka, dude.
Hey, dude,
Yeah.
I love you as long as you got that weed. Any more edibles? Guess who's hungry?
There is a sign on the edibles that says this is not food.
Well, we were starving last night. We picked it up. So, Johnny, how's everything going for you, my man? We feel like we're out of the mix because we're up here at Jazz.
No, it's good. No, you do have the hotline. I've tried to call a few times, but
We did not even know. This is the first time I knew that there was a hotline.
there it is.
Yeah.
Now you know.
This thing has been Chris Stanley wired through imperfection. He was fucking wired last night.
Puka dude's selling me out.
Everybody loves the Puka dude, right? Johnny, mind if I stop by for a little sustenance later?
Sure. Come on down.
You know, they brought back the Hamburglar. Did you see that to McDonald's?
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
It's crazy that they
Yeah.
decided to just pull this out of nowhere.
Yeah, where is it at? Is it up on the iBang?
Yeah, it's up on the iBang, yeah. McDonald's reboots the Hamburglar.
I kind of remember they got rid of them because they thought it was like a negative message for children, right? Like,
Well, I think what they're bringing it back as the Hamburglar is your dad stealing your hamburger.
Yeah, they have like a 20-second promo for it where it's a guy like dressed in a apron that looks like the Hamburglar's outfit, and there's like a new cheeseburger coming out, so he's freaked out by it and he feels the need to get that cheeseburger. He has a cheeseburger watch, and you just see the back of his head.
Now, here's the weird deal: does the Hamburglar also steal cheeseburglars?
Yeah,
they should just call him the Cheeseburglar.
They just stuck with Hamburglar, but it would make sense because
First of all, who orders a hamburger?
it's a very strange thing. And I think it's so weird when I hear somebody say, "I'll have a hamburger." What cheese? No. What? Like an old-timey hamburger sandwich is all I think.
It seems like
I'll have one hamburger sandwich, please, and a cup of coffee.
Coffee and a hamburger sounds like the most disgusting thing in the world.
a nice hot beverage with this hamburger.
It's a good lunch. A hamburger sandwich and a hot cup of joe.
Should I put some cheese on that for you?
No, please. It doesn't go with my coffee. Cheese and coffee? I'd never.
That is so nut. Have you ever ordered a hamburger in your life?
The most confident thing I've ever said is no, I've never ordered a hamburger. If I have an option of cheese, yeah, give it to me. And give me more than I should actually eat. Who doesn't love a cheeseburger?
Why are you angry? I'm on your side.
Okay.
I eat cheeseburgers too.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Great.
I'd like a cheeseburger, cheese on top and bottom.
Wow, that's crazy now.
I like the sound of that. But this damn
Where
hamburger.
does that even live?
It's like a grilled cheese sandwich with a burger in the middle. Sounds good.
Like a patty melt.
Ooh.
People bringing burgers. Where's the cheese?
Now the pad dater says booger talk.
No!
What?
Did you write booger talk?
That's disgusting. You know I hate that word.
I have to change this pad data out.
Booger, booger, booger. With some cheese. Cops are shooting Negroes. Wait, what did he just say? What is he saying? Stop it, Eddie.
He didn't just say.
White people are slave owners. Kill them all. No one's brought up that picture of Doug Benson yet. That's fucking stoner.
The best of Bennington will be right back. It's the best of Bennington.
Sean actually came up with the fact that he thinks that Chip Kelly is a racist. He said Chip got rid of all the black stars and did it fast. But the only thing that keeps Chip from being a racist, it's not like he's replacing them with white people. He's going to need other black people.
DeMarco Murray's black, the last time I checked,
Yeah.
so it's totally fine on the running back front. And Deshaun Jackson hasn't really done much with the Redskins, so he was not hardly a star.
I understand the need, though, to try to work this out, because it
doesn't make sense. You're
what
right.
he's doing is crazy.
Yeah.
So, I just think he's throwing ideas out there. Maybe it's racism. I don't know. Who knows? Because nobody can tell what this man is doing. Is he an evil genius, or is he just crazy? I don't know.
That's what we keep saying about Charlie Manson. That if you look at Chip Kelly, he's the Charlie Manson of the NFL. He can go this way. He can go that way. No one knows, man. I'm doing next level stuff, man. That's Chip Kelly.
He's brand new.
Yeah, I'm brand new. Everything I do is brand new.
He fucking is Manson.
How's this thing get fixed now?
He's on the precipice of reality.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's it.
That works.
Got it.
I gotta find the suite again. Need to find the suite again. Everything I do is brand new. Whole new offense coming out of Oregon. Got Tebow. Tebow could be over here, be over there. It's fucking helter skelter.
We're gonna run the triple option. You ever heard that shit?
Yeah. Go up to the tent, play a little prank on him on. That's fucking Chip Kelly. Just comes out with a fucking swastika on his forehead.
I feel like Philadelphia's going to embrace that.
Philadelphia will only embrace him if he wins. If he wins, he could do anything he wants. He could be eating a human leg on the sidelines. But if he loses a 21-20 fucking game, they're going to throw shit at him.
There'll be fires on the field.
Yeah.
You gotta be somewhat excited for this season, right? I mean, with what everything he's done, just to see how it plays out. Just from even before free agency, him trading McCoy to the Bills. I mean, it has to be. Or as a,
are you saying, are we excited?
Yeah, the Eagles fans. Yeah.
We're stunned. It's like we've been in a fucking truck accident, and people are just like walking around on the street. They're like, "I'm alive." That's good. You're trying to figure out, do I know who anyone is?
We all have blood in our eyes. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's blood. We don't know whether it's our blood or someone else's. I found a fucking shoe, and then there was a foot in it. And I'm like, I don't know what he's doing.
Am I bleeding? Oh, my God.
What's the last thing anyone remember? Chip was driving a bus. He lit his hair on fire, started cackling, and drove into a tree. That's the last thing I remember. But you can't judge him until you see what happens. This feels awful, but we don't know whether it is awful.
We're just stunned talking madness. Where's my lipstick? I think I dropped my lipstick.
Not about
You're missing an arm. I gotta find my lipstick.
That's the saddest thing about that. When you're in shock, you focus on the wrong thing. Oh, God. Well, anyway,
and that's what it feels like.
That is what it feels like. I'll give you the perfect Philadelphia sports night. And it was this thing, I guess it happened a month ago. I hadn't even heard of it, but it blew up on the internet now. And it was called, I think, the Philly Sports Roast. It's up on the iBang today.
Sports Roast Philly.
Yeah. And it's up on the iBang as old Phillies acting like scumbags. So here's the deal. You have Lenny Dykstra and the Wild Thing at a roast.
Oh, God.
Now, again, this was a sports night, not the TV show Intervention, was what it should have been. So, the 93 Phillies, they were like this really fun, goateed team. They also got in accidents. They did all kinds of crazy shit. And they got right up to the World Series. And then from what I remember, they decided not to have a World Series that year. So everyone won.
Oh, that's cool. All
And
right.
Mitch Williams did not just give up this giant home run to end the World Series and leave everybody looking for their lipstick. So now here we are, 20-some years later, 22 years later. These guys are a little rough for the road. And some idiot in Philly put together a roast where they could talk to each other.
Well, it's fun.
And it was an insane night. So you're going to hear, and this is done in front of a crowd of people, Mitch Williams, who probably had a couple beverages, talked to, speaking to Lenny Dykstra, fresh out of jail. And it seems like, and I can't prove this, medicated himself.
All right.
Although he's drinking water, there's all kinds of, things that you can do in today's day and age. So here these two guys are roasting each other.
Lenny, for one time in your life, in front of God and everybody, tell them why you were so upset I gave up a home run to lose the World Series.
I wasn't upset about you. I mean...
Because you didn't get the MVP. Do you think I tried less hard?
Okay, this is how fucking stupid this guy is. No, I mean, really. Like...
Dude,
you think I give a fuck about the MVP?
Yes!
No.
I know
you. Know what I give a fuck about? One thing. Anybody that played with me knows how the game works. You don't even know the fucking rules, dude.
I don't know the rules.
So, yeah, because remember, hold on.
Quiz on the rules.
Remember, dude, when we have a 3-run lead in the 9th, and we get that insurance run, and so we get a 4-run lead, and it would take you out of a safe situation, wouldn't it? And you'd come in the clubhouse pissed off. You literally would come in the clubhouse pissed off because we fucking got an insurance run, and you didn't get the fucking crew saved. And by the way, do you know how many fucking more drugs you made me take to fucking to keep up with that shit? And everybody take. I mean, hold on.
All you're doing is making yourself look more stupid.
You made prison was like a fucking fantasy camp playing with you, dude.
Prison.
Let me keep going.
Yeah, please keep going.
Because here's the deal. The numbers don't lie. How the fuck can somebody get fired gets hired by a Major League Baseball network for a fucking dream job, who somehow masqueraded through the interview? I don't know how he got through it. But hold on, doesn't matter. English. But what does matter is you found a way to fuck that up. Just like you found a way to fuck up the World Series. What haven't you fucked up? Okay. I just want to know what you haven't fucked up.
Okay.
Stop the swinging. Just go the fuck outside.
Shut up, man.
Would you like me to answer that, Lenny?
No. So, here we go.
I have 5 kids that I have never stolen $1 from.
Look,
now, do you want to start talking about
what's the kids?
Where's
the kids? What's the kids got to do with anything? Why do you bring the kids into it?
Why?
This is business.
I didn't steal my son's signing bonus.
Business.
I didn't rob my mother.
You don't know the facts.
I know all the facts.
You don't know the facts. Hey, Mitch, here's the deal. This is about baseball, not personal. See, the problem is...
It is about you
can't handle,
running your head.
No, you can't handle the facts. We're talking about baseball right now, right?
Okay, the fact is...
You want to talk about what about as a kid? Sit down, let me finish.
Oh, my God, what a train wreck.
That was amazing.
It is horrific. It's like watching two guys on Skid Row still trying to beat each other with their crutches.
First of all, I'm glad Lenny's out. I'm happy for him. I'm good that he's out back in the world.
He's doing great.
I guess everyone in that room.
You can't follow the facts.
I didn't steal my kids' money.
Everybody on that comes off like shit, including everybody who bought a ticket. Now, saying that, it's still 1,000,000 times more entertaining than any roast that Comedy Central has done in years.
Ever.
You can't take your eyes off of it.
That 3 minutes was possibly the best thing I've ever seen. That was the shit. That was crazy. I mean, it's kind of
horrible. It's horrible, and it's fantastic at the same time.
Oh, my God. Oh, Mitch Williams, I think I had more than a couple.
I love that there's some sort of faceless voice, you don't know where it's coming from, just yells, "Get outside! Go the fuck outside!" Who is he talking to?
Damn, he wants them to go out and punch each other. That's what you were supposed to do in Philly. People would actually say to you, stop arguing and go outside and punch each other.
End this.
Just go outside. Get the fuck outside.
Get the fuck outside with that shit. I paid $8 for this ticket. That is so funny. The people in the audience are in the same shape as these two fucking ham and eggers.
Yeah, they all had drinks. Everyone had a bunch of booze in front of them.
Yeah.
Who thought this was a good idea? Who thought, oh, this is going to be...
I don't know. It looked like they were fucking putting in some volunteer firehouse down there. They threw them each $250.
You guys want to come to a roast? What's a roast? You fight with each other. Just get...
It's open bar. So.
Oh, okay, I'm in. You got fired by Major League Baseball. Fucking dream job.
How do you screw that up?
I have 5 kids and I never stole from any of them.
Now, you don't know the facts.
You don't have the facts.
Look, if you are trying to shame Lenny Dykstra, you're in the wrong fucking business.
He was amazing, man. I even loved when he was on the Mets. That was like, I didn't even realize he was a Philly, but when I was a little kid, when he was on the Mets, it was like, oh man, Nails is the shit. Love him. I think because he chewed.
Well, he chewed and he stayed dirty in every game and he ran into fences and he started, go back and watch and look at what he looked like when he was on the Mets and what he would look like when he was on the Phillies, because he put on like 160 pounds of muscle.
How? I wonder.
He was like 135 when he was on the Mets, and then he could barely drop his arms when he was on the Phils.
Just a gigantic, scary
You're
man.
the one who made me take more drugs than anyone. Cajun Jacks just said that Chris Stanley is the Lenny Dykstra of radio. That's nice.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Cool.
Oh my God, his arms are huge on the Phillies.
Yeah, he was
they're
just
massive.
gigantic.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was.
He's the tiny man.
He's a little man on the Mets. He looked like a nice boy, but I used to know Dutch Dalton a little bit, and I was out on a golf course in Florida, and those guys, it was Dutch and Lenny and a couple other ball players, came up. And they're coming in the other direction. You know how like holes can be facing different things, so your cart's going one way. This very small public course that we were out on. And I see the cart coming up, and they're being so crazy. And Lenny can't find his fucking golf ball. And he leaps from the cart while it's moving. And it just looked like a fucking dog that smelled something, some kind of animal. And it was just in the... And, and so Dutch was trying to introduce me to him, but he was like, "Hey, dude, how are you?" He's just
I got the scent.
He was so fucking frantic to find this ball that all I felt like is I need to get away from these dudes. I mean, we were whacked on our own, but in a peaceful way. Johnny Dollar just said wrote something awful. He said, "How shitty do you think Mitch Williams feels when he hears 'Touch 'em all, Joe'?" If you go by that, he hasn't been sober a day since. But when you see that, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's going to be you and Dave one day trying to figure out what went wrong on the old Ron and Fez show?
We're inviting you guys to the roast.
The roast. There's no worst idea.
And they did not care about the format of a roast where, you know.
Well, everybody, I don't recognize anyone else sitting up there. There were no, like, old Phils there on the so-called roast or comedians.
They were just able to get Dykstra and Williams.
Yeah, what did they think was going to happen?
This is going to be fun. They were going to joke and say, oh, don't worry, I love you, buddy.
Yeah. Now we're going to bring up Kathleen from the Bronx, who lives in South Philly. You know, I see these guys out here rocking and rolling and whatnot. It's party time in Philly, right? You the best. I love that song you played today by the Breeders.
I'm just glad I didn't spell the Beaners. That would have been really embarrassing.
And racist.
But I didn't do that. So I was thinking that could have gone in a really bad direction.
I was just going to have 3 more jokes, but I'm like, why even do that now? Of things you could have put up. I always love when someone makes a mistake and then tells you how it could have went worse.
Well, this is not the worst mistake I could have made.
Well, imagine if I would have shit myself and then slipped and fell into it.
That didn't happen, so let's feel good.
You're listening to the best of Bennington.
All right, Leslie, who is our friend, who just had an experience not too long ago with the Monty Pythons, which I find to be tremendous, but has written this very weird article where she is asking the people from the Poltergeist movie to stop running ads with the scary clown because she sees them in places that she doesn't want to. She's like, I don't want to stop you from making movies with your scary clowns, but why are you doing it when I'm on the subway? Now, I don't have a scary clown phobia. As a matter of fact, there is a picture of me as a little kid with my cousin standing next to the scariest scary clown. And you can see that we weren't even, like, paying attention to it.
Yeah.
But it looks like this is the clown that raped these 2 little boys.
We've got to put that picture up one day because I'm telling you, I've never seen a scarier clown that wasn't intended to be scary. Like this, you're like, okay, this is intentionally scary. This clown was meant to entertain children, and I'm not sure who okayed his look because it's pretty scary.
Well, first of all, there's 2 weird things about that picture. Number 1, why was the scary clown allowed next to these 2 little boys? Number 2, why would anybody take boys to the zoo and make them wear ties and jackets?
It's a very fancy time still then. Like
it was, well, I believe, and I don't know this 100%, but I believe it was Easter.
Right.
That's why, like, you dressed up.
Right, you had
for
to put
holidays.
your Easter best on and then...
Dude, when I was younger, my uncles would come over, and they were all blue-collar guys, and they would be really dressed up for every holiday and a lot of Sundays. That if they came over for Sunday...
Just regular Sundays.
Yeah.
That's a crazier time.
I kind of like that, though. It's kind of nice to have occasion, you know, to have
something that matters.
Yeah.
We got very, very casual in our lives. But back then, they did. They would get dressed up to then fall asleep sitting in the couch because they were so exhausted from working in factories all week.
Just let them dress casually then on a Sunday, for the love of God. Let them put some sweatpants on.
Now, I don't have a clown doll phobia, so I don't have the same sense of urgency she has with this. Maybe we should try to get a hold of her today. But do you have any of these types of phobias that don't bother most people but do bother you?
See, I have some things like it, but I would say that we use phobia in an extreme kind of sense. Like, I have a fear of clowns. Well, are you really afraid, like, if there was a little doll clown? Are you really afraid of it, or are you just like, I don't enjoy that? It makes me uncomfortable. Because I think sometimes people indulge their fears. We're like, I have a phobia of this, but it's not really. So, for me, if I had to say just, like, one kind of unnecessary thing, the presence of styrofoam makes me really uncomfortable.
No, because you hate the sound, or you think something bad could happen?
I hate the sound. I hate the texture, and even like looking at styrofoam, I start to like get a little bit like itchy just to think someone's going to go over there and touch that. Now, I don't know if I would call that a phobia in the sense that like it's not crippling to me.
Right.
And like if I have to be present, if I have to pull something out of a box, I'm very uncomfortable with it. I prefer someone else to do it.
I'm now considering that borderline phobia.
You think so?
Yeah, it's the fact that you're like, I'm going to wait for someone to come home to take this out
I've done
of
that
the
before.
box.
So maybe it is a phobia then.
I think we should send you away. Like some kind of crazy place.
Even talking about styrofoam like makes my tongue kind of feel like itchy or something.
But this is going to make you laugh. I used to have to work with styrofoam when I was on the when I worked on the in packing and on the block. I was a material handler, so I had to bring this styrofoam in so people could pack stuff.
Please. Even the motion of you pushing your hand as though you're stuffing
it down, squeak it in.
There you go.
Squeak it in as much as you can.
Okay, I get that it's a phobia. I have a phobia, okay? But maybe part of it was I didn't want people to know my weakness. I'm afraid you guys are going to just show up with a ton of styrofoam tomorrow.
Black Widow has a weakness, does she?
I'm afraid of styrofoam, please. My superpowers are no match for this styrofoam.
866-766-0339 if you have a phobia, particularly one that you've had since you were a child. Now, do you admire her for just putting this out here, for basically writing an open letter to this marketing company?
I like it.
Because all I see them being is like Bill Murray, like, this is fantastic.
It's working.
Yes. I want this on the front page. I want it to run every half hour.
Just fucking drill into people's brains. I used to have a really, really weird one where I hated touch screens. Like, I couldn't... What? Look, I was...
He says what? And we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at how stupid you are with your phobia.
Having, like... wiping my finger across a touchscreen cell phone, or even like the MetroCard machines here in New York City, it weirded me out. So I had to just like, I'm just going to go to the booth guy and get my MetroCards from there because I'm not dealing with this machine.
You went around. You didn't want to deal with it.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't deal with it. Like, even like when zooming in on something, like when you just pinch your fingers like on a touchscreen, I was like, oh, like I couldn't do it. Like I'm not dealing with a touchscreen.
Is it a texture problem, like a finger on glass, or what is it?
The glass always just freaked me out. Just rubbing my fingers against glass.
Did you think you'd be cut?
It felt disgusting to me. It felt,
so germs. This is a germ phobia.
I guess, yeah. It was germs and grease and just nastiness, and I just didn't like it.
But you're so dirty, and you live in your own filth. And you just sit there. Your arm was bleeding yesterday.
Yeah, well, it stopped.
It's looking a little better.
By the way, I heard from someone we know. I don't believe she wants to be outed. She had a friend of a friend who was with Chris Stanley, and said he did not have any bites then, and neither did anyone else.
That's bullshit.
And any bites that he got were back in Queens.
I got bites up in Willow, New York, okay? I was eaten alive.
You didn't. We know somebody who was there.
If you have bed bugs, you legally have to tell us that.
I do not have
We're in a very tight studio
That's
right
really
now.
true.
I do not have bed bugs.
I go to line 2, John. John, do you have a phobia?
Yeah, uncooked chicken. Just looking at it, feeling it just looks like it has pieces.
So, uncooked chicken is actually an interesting one.
I would agree with that one. I mean, I wouldn't call mine a phobia, but it's definitely my least favorite, like, uncooked meat. Like, I could handle a raw steak and not think about it, but for some reason, the smell, texture of uncooked chicken is really hard for me.
Well, it's also one of the things that you're most warned about. Like, really cook that chicken good, check it. You know, don't leave it out too long before. Like, they stay on you about chicken. I mean, I realize it's not the same as a glass that you have to touch.
That's really creepy and weird.
Could you put your tongue on it?
Oh, God, no.
Put your tongue on an iPhone?
No.
Just do it. Use your phone.
That's disgusting. Why did I even do that? Like, I
Because you're a yes man.
Awful.
Well, it's a good thing you got over it, or else you would not be able to live in the world that we live in right now.
No, I would still have to be using Blackberries, and that'd just be weird. was able to get past it, but I still don't really like it. Like, I'd still prefer to have, like, not have to deal with touchscreens.
Here's Larry. Larry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not so much claustrophobic, but I do bug out, like, if I don't get the ends of a seat, like, at a public place. Like, last month I went with my chick to see Book of Mormon, and I think it's at the old Neil Theater, and it's so goddamn tiny. I was in the middle,
it's tight.
And I was fucking panicking. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if I don't get the end seat, I'm definitely bugging out.
All right, now, here's the thing, though. All right, let's suppose you don't have the end seat, but your chick does. Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, let's say you don't have the end seat, but your chick, and then it's your brother and his chick. Would you be okay then?
Yeah, as long as I get that lifeline, because like.
See, I have that, but I never thought of it as a phobia. But I don't like to get strangers to move up or move past them, you know.
I don't have it, but I'm very conscientious of the people that I know who do. So I'll always take the booth or the inner seat or sit next to the stranger, because I have several people in my life who don't like to sit
I don't like to
boxed
share.
in by the stranger.
Yeah, I don't like to be boxed in by the stranger. Who are all the people? You don't want to say?
You.
Yeah.
And my man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has the same kind of things as me.
Yeah, so he always gets the end. I always let him kind of have the out.
Now, I think
I like to be cozied in. Like, I don't mind it. I will take, if I'm by myself.
Foot under.
If I'm by myself, I will take like the in between or middle seats between people. I don't care.
Even on an airplane?
I would do it.
I'm shocked by this.
God, no.
I don't care.
Now,
it's cozy.
Does your chick give you the outside seat?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Because I think men like the outside seat.
I like to put that leg out. It feels so good. It feels so good. Just, and I don't care if they look out for the leg if you're walking down the aisle.
No, here's the thing. It's very funny. There are plenty of guys who want to do that aren't like Shaq. Like not even overly tall guys, but a guy likes to stretch his shit out.
It feels good.
Yeah,
it's great. Tiny little seats.
I'll see pictures of me sitting down, and I'll say, "There's a man who'd rather lay down." I see that I try to lay down in the chair that I'm sitting in. But no, you don't have a phobia, sir. You have common sense. But I get that thing is, I don't like to get other people to move. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it annoys me. It shouldn't. I see other people totally comfortable with it.
But you don't. Part of it is inconveniencing the people if you want to get in and out.
I don't want to end up in some kind of a weird thing where they're just like, I'm not moving. And then,
what do I do?
Then you'll be forced to fight him.
That's where it goes in my head. So if I'm in the inside, and I think, I'll think to myself, well, I'd like a little snack, but is it worth being in a fight over with this fucking guy?
That's where your mind takes you.
I think it's also embarrassing to look like the guy who's.
Oh, it looks terrible.
Excuse me.
Especially when you don't know, like, what is the more awkward way to pass. Like, side is taking up too much room, but, like, do you want to put the butt in the face? Like,
yeah, you got butter balls. You can actually say that to them. Butter balls, it's up to you.
I always go balls no matter what they want. It's what you're going to get.
Why? I find that hideous.
And you get to look down on them.
See? I don't want that fucking feeling.
Sir, excuse me.
I'd rather have butts, sir. I'm getting balls. I'm getting balls and I prefer butts.
I have control over this right now.
I think each person down the line should get this too. So you're going back and forth. Me, I'm a butt man. Please turn, sir.
In a civilized society, Gail, you are right. That is how a civilized society would run. A lot of styrofoam people are writing in saying that they agree with you.
Oh, man, that makes me feel so comforted.
They freaked out. Liz says, I hate styrofoam so much that I leave packages to get open. My husband will then throw it in the bedroom and I scream. They're in a very weird relationship, those two.
So that's how it is in their family.
Oh, yeah. He tapes styrofoam to her while she's sleeping. All right, we do have Leslie. Good. All right, let's grab her. Leslie, how are you, darling?
Hey, how are you guys?
Well, Leslie, first of all, I find your article to be just amazing on a couple different levels. Number one, that you would feel it, and number two, that you would kind of write an open letter demanding that they change their marketing, their very expensive marketing.
Look, I'm not saying I'm demanding, but I am saying they're really causing me 2 months of pain with this.
It's real pain.
It if they didn't. I have had 3 friends now see me freak out in public because of the marketing campaign, and it's really horrible.
All right, run us through like your most embarrassing freak out. What happened?
Okay, well, Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning, I went to see the Avengers with a friend of mine, and I was walking through the hall of the theater, and she was just pointing out a couple movies that she wanted to see, and I did not know about this ad that also has, it's like a hologram ad, so it looks like the clown moves, and I just looked over to the side for a second, and I thought that the clown moved, and I backed away, screamed. A couple of people noticed me do that, and they thought I seemed like a bug or something.
Now,
they were a little concerned, and my friend said she'd never seen me freak out that badly in public. And then I was walking down the stairs of the subway, and I looked up, and it was the same ad again, and I almost fell. And then I was talking to someone, and we were just looking at the computer, and the trailer just comes on without being prompted.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warning to you. There's about to be a trailer.
No, it was literally like the pop-up ad that you can't turn off. And it just like all of a sudden this horrible clown just goes flying at a child and is like about to kill them. If I were in a movie theater and the trailer just came on, I would be fine, because I'm like, look, I'm prepared. There's going to be horror movie trailers.
Right.
I get it. When I watched it, when I was like a kid, I was like, I am prepared for this. I know that there's going to be a terrorizing clown. It will be okay. But when I'm just walking down the street and I'm freaking out, it's not fair.
It's not fair. Now, they're rebooting It, by the way. They're doing a new It. They just announced that.
I know. I have mentioned that every single time I turn on, I look at like a news piece, and it's like, It cast. I'm like, oh, and they have to use the same terrifying picture all the time. It's horrible for people with a phobia of clowns.
Now, why do you think when do you remember when you got the clown phobia?
John and Gacy.
Oh, Gacy
For
clowns.
good reason.
Yeah, Gacy clown.
If you grew up in the Chicago area, they would constantly show pictures of John Wayne Gacy and then talk about the fact that he used to be a clown. And I was at the perfect age where there were still people who would like have clowns at birthday parties.
Right.
And it really made me scared to ever see a clown at a birthday party after that. I was so scared of clowns when I was little that when my grandmother bought some figurines, she bought clown figurines at a garage sale, and I broke them because I was so scared.
I'm killing John Wayne Gacy. I'm killing him.
Yeah. It's not even, like, clowns scare me. I remember when I watched that movie, Capturing the Freedmen.
Yeah.
And and there's the opening part, and that's the thing that kind of scared me the most was the clown footage at the beginning. But clown figurines scare me more than clowns. So inanimate objects that are clowns really freak me
So I guess you don't want your picture on Red Nose Day, huh?
No, honestly, those pictures are kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Now, do you think it's like super healthy that she acknowledges it, she owns it so much that she wants to change the marketing campaign, or does she need to get past her clown phobia?
Oh, I think just talking about it probably gives you a little strength as
a little power.
But I do think it's funny that like we're laughing at her, and it's like it's other people's phobias are so humorous, like Chris, stupid touching glass.
It's not stupid.
But then somebody came in here with 2 styrofoam pieces and started rubbing it together. I'd be freaking out. Like, it's not funny, dude.
We don't understand other people's phobias. Like you can be
I acknowledge it's a phobia. It is incredibly stupid that I get freaked out. But it's like one of those things where I watch like the Twilight Zone episode with the inanimate object clown in the barrel, and I'm just sort of like tingling all over. I'm like, ugh, this is gross. So look, I don't want to insult people who are clowns. I'm sure you're lovely people.
I don't Gacy? All right, well, this is up on the iBang, and Leslie is a terrific writer.
And I would also, I am being honest here because I have also met a couple of people who've told me they got freaked out by the same marketing campaign, and a little kid saw the poster, and her mom told me that she was crying. She was so scared. She was just so
that's part of the fun.
And it looks creepy. So please don't send me pictures of clowns because I had a couple of friends who did that, and they have now been blocked.
Oh, you'll block a friend over it. It's not funny to you at all.
I am. Don't send me pictures of freaky clowns. It's like it made me hate Bozo. That's how much I don't like.
Wow.
I mean, just please. And I don't understand the Poltergeist marketing campaign because they know that people are scared of clowns. But it's different to go into a horror movie and be like, I'm about to be scared, than it is to be like, at any second when I walk down the street, I could run into this picture of a clown that is unsettling to look at. It's just like, it's like punching people all the time.
All right, thank you so much, Leslie. We'll talk to you later. Her piece is up on the iBang today, and it is... she's stone serious about it. She cannot put up with the clown or clown dolls or just people clowning around. If you send her a clown, she will block you. You're not going to be in her life. I have been on stuff like an escalator where friends would say, I can't get on those things. You could fall down them and be chewed up. And I'm like, what are you for? You know? And that's what see, a lot of times I think your mother will say something like, you be careful, you're going to fall down there, you'll be chewed up in the escalator. And then you believe that that's the way it's going to be for the rest of your life. And you look at it as if it's like poison darts coming at you.
No, weird thing is, I actually did get stuck in the escalator. My shoelace got pulled in, and it was like pulling my foot, and my mom had to pull my foot out. And yet, I don't have a fear of it. No. I actually deserve to have a fear of escalators.
Well,
but styrofoam, that's the one.
What you got to start doing is tying your shoes. I don't know how many times to tell you that. But yeah, I didn't think if you were growing up in Chicago and the John Wayne Gacy stuff came on, that would have to be weird for you. Let's go to Andrew, line 1. Andrew.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes, I got a good one for you. I am monophobic. Is the fear of being alone.
You can't be alone at all.
I don't live alone. I've never lived alone. I have too many friends. I can't keep a small circle. I'm always out. I work in a huge theme park, so I just have to be around people.
What is the feeling when you're alone? What do you feel like that is so scary?
The world's disappeared?
It feels a little depressing. I just feel like I need people. I need conversation. I end up talking to myself, and I don't want to, go a little crazy when you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that I know exactly like this. I actually knew someone who felt like they could not be in their house, that it was wasting life, right? And they actually said to me, I hope it rains tomorrow so I can stay in. They felt like they had to be outside as long as they possibly could.
Wow. So
isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's very strange. I'd like to be inside.
Yes. It's fun to have a roof over your head.
But it sometimes, for me, it did take a little time to, get comfortable with being alone. Sometimes I would notice that, I'd be alone for 5 minutes and feel the need to call someone,
right,
or kind of fill that time with someone else. As I got older, I got a little bit more comfortable with the time that I spent alone. And I do talk to myself.
But you also have a tendency to call when you're in between places.
I do, yeah.
I'm walking the dog now, and you're like, am I being used? Because you never check in. we were talking about the red nose pictures that Leslie's going to like. And the next one to go up is going to be Kevin Pollak. So the big stars that we've put together for Red Nose Days. Somebody wrote in that they have a fear of getting pregnant or being pregnant, and they can't even watch anything with a pregnancy movie or childbirth. CJ says this: I have a weird feeling in a restaurant that I have to be on the side of the table facing the door. A lot of men have that. It's kind of that old West thing of if trouble comes in, a lot of men will always make sure their side of the bed is the side of the door is.
Yeah.
This goes way back in our caveman DNA.
I want to see it coming.
Yeah, I want to know what's happening here. I'll do a thing, too, where I'll pat somebody down to see if they're wearing a wire, even when I don't have anything to worry about. Queen Elizabeth says, if any of these fucks sends me pictures of praying mantis, you will be blocked. She has a praying mantis thing. I brought that up
we
on the show. But that's something like I just never talked about when I saw it when I was a little kid. The biting aluminum foil.
Oh, that's just not good. It's just,
Pepper has the fear of being sober.
I'm sober right now, and I'm keeping it totally under control.
You have a fear of children.
It's true. I have a fear. I don't.
You have a fear of being accused of being.
Yeah, I mean, because
doing something.
Who's gonna believe me versus a kid?
I wouldn't believe you versus a known liar.
I also have a thing with brooms, like old school, like brooms.
Wait, old school broom is a broom.
I guess okay. So yeah, then just a regular broom.
What is the fear?
I don't like all the bristles and I feel like it should be solid. There's all these tiny little bristles plugged into this thing.
It would not be much of a broom.
This is a dog fear. My dog has a fear of brooms.
That means the dog have a lot in common.
You both were headed brooms when you were children, and you both drink out of a bowl and shit outside.
No,
God damn, you are a dog.
And the sound of the bristles on against the floor freaks me out. I hate it. It's so shitty. And the worst is a wet broom against sidewalk. I want to just kill a person doing that. Like I swear to God,
you're Gacy.
In New York City, people wash the outside with a wet broom, and I hate it.
What is it about the wet broom?
The sound. It just drives me insane. It's like torture, and I'm being dead serious.
I'm worried to see what your apartment looks like with this fear of brooms you have.
I'd worry about that apartment too.
I bought a dustbuster. Face.
Got us. We just got face.
We got faced.
So brooms and a wet broom in particular.
Yeah, wet broom. Yeah, terrifying.
You also afraid of vacuum cleaners or
Clorox wipes?
Hand soap.
Let's go over to. Oh, I just thought I know something that I do have a phobia of.
What's that?
I have a fear of a black planet.
Oh.
I got that from Public Enemy. 1991, I believe. Wait, I got confused between me and Anthony. Who am I thinking of? Let's go over here to Adam. Line 4, Adam.
Hey, Vincent, how we doing?
Yeah.
I used to work as a stock boy. I used to in the frozen dairy and calling cardboard out all day, and about 8-hour day, 10-hour day, your fingers would just get all cut up. And ever since then, I really can't carry a cardboard box around or anything. It's just the feeling of all your cuts on your pads just drives me insane.
That kind of.
Yeah, actually, that's the worst.
That can work.
Actually, like a paper cut that you get from cardboard is that's the worst because it's so thick, but you can still get a paper cut from it.
All right, here's one for you. At what age were you able to start using matches? Because they drilled the fire thing into us so much that me and my friends, when we would be like in second grade and we would steal cigarettes, nobody wanted to light the match. And one time I remember flicking a match into some weeds, letting it start into a fire that way, rather than sit there and hold the match in our hands. We were so little. And then we would pass the cigarette around like it was a joint. And I remember saying this: Oh, God, I needed this, as I'm passing it to my friend.
I needed this.
I remember, like, in like 6th grade, I had like a thing for like kitchen matches.
Yeah.
There's this to just light them and set some shit on fire occasionally.
Yeah.
And then the smell of sulfur was like almost
You
like
loved
a
it?
little high for like a kid.
Right, but 6th grade is older than, that's when...
The best of Bennington will be right back.
Listen, I wanted to talk about nerd culture since the nerd called in, and you've won, and there's, movies and music. Movies are cartoons, and music is now Glee, and everybody is an idiot. This is how bad we've gotten since we stopped bullying. And it's up on the iBank today. BuzzFeed had put this up as the best Mitzvah invite ever. But I watched this and I wanted to say someone has to help this child because he thinks he can do this without the kids at school. You're not always going to be in a little Jewish school.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to have to interact with other people. So just watch this for a moment and tell me if this was your kid, how quickly you would stop him. It's put up on the iBang as you'll never unsee this Mitzvah invite. I'm going to say it's probably safe for work, but not all work. Like if I was a cop, I wouldn't watch this at work. All right, put this up. And everyone loves this.
Oh my God.
Now this is the problem with Glee winning because this is acceptable now.
I think it's more a problem with parents who think that their children are so incredibly precious and so incredibly talented that they think that the world will feel the same way.
You know what? I'm going to give the parents the pass when it's an infant or even a toddler. But this is
it's a large child.
This is a 13-year-old because it's mitzvah time. Mm-hmm. When did we start getting that casual? And the whole thing is like, look at me, this is my day. As if he was an annoying bride.
It's the worst. It's worse than the Sweet 16 and worse than the
well, you couldn't be a more awkward age than 13. And
that's the last time, that is the least fun time of your life. I would not want a huge party where everyone was looking at me and taking pictures of me.
And it stays
13.
like that.
If pictures of me at 13 were hung up over my parents' house, I would be pretty upset about it.
Why? You were a nice young boy then. 866-766-0339. 866-766-0339. Brian, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, that kid was nothing more than a trained schnauzer by his mom. There's no way he has the chops to put that together. His mom is behind that. And something that she's got to realize is that kid is at some point, going to get out of the circle that only includes her and her friends.
Yeah.
All right, a lot of people wrote this in, which is really strange. Is that Jenny Hutt singing? A lot of people thought that young mitzvah boy was Jenny Hutt. Here's Josh. Josh in New Hampshire.
This is worse than a quinceañera. This honestly, this is driving a spike between Judaism and Christianity. This kid is going to get the shit kicked out of him when he goes to public school.
I mean, I don't want to overblow it, but I am on the side of Palestine now, and I never was.
Absolutely.
Now, here's the thing. To hear it is horrifying. To see it, a million times worse.
Way worse.
It's up on the iBang, and what this young man does before he has the sensibility to do it. That's why you need an older brother or older kids to do the bully gimmick of stop acting like that.
Exactly. I don't condone bullying, but it is the truth of life. It's something that this kid is going to deal with. And you have this little roly-poly kid naked with his blurred lines. I mean...
Yeah, his blurred lines over what would, I guess, one day be a penis. You know what I mean? If nurtured properly, he'll be able to be out like that in public, but not now.
Also, I have to think, if this was a little girl, how would we be reacting about the parents making a video?
You would be
like,
saying, yeah, like they've gone too far. They're sexual.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're sexualizing her if they like blurred out her bikini area.
But this is great for me because I never had a chance to see a 13-year-old Uncle Fester. So this is nice. But see, you do, like, I might have done something this stupid at 13, but I had parents, older brother and older sister, who would stop me and say, no, you're not doing this, and then call me what they considered the worst phrase ever. Larry Coker, who was a kid in the neighborhood who they didn't want me to grow up to be like. You're acting like Larry Coker. And I'd be like, he's a person. He's a human.
It's a way to be.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Fran Lebowitz thing where she's saying that if you're giving your kids so much confidence, like, not everyone is meant to be creative people.
Right.
Like, yes, you should encourage your kids to be creative, but you should not push it so far that they believe that they're good at things that they're not good at.
You know who's done that is Will Smith with his children. They gave those children so much love that they don't know they're nuts anymore. Those kids, they get out and they do stuff, and like they're used to their parents going, Hercules, Hercules.
It's just a ton of confidence. Most of the young artists out there who maybe you think are not very good, the thing is they're just very confident.
Very confident. Now, this is over on the iBang. You want to go check it out. By the way, we're in a minority opinion that we think that this kid has gotten too much rope. His parents obviously love it. The friends love it. And BuzzFeed called it the best of all time because Glee has won. You know what I mean? Rock and roll lives underground. Glee has won. Carlos in Westchester. Go ahead, Carlos.
Hey, how you doing? Love the show.
Hey, it's good.
Yeah, I was getting back to your question, not question, but you said stuff about nerd culture and how all these superhero movies and superhero TV shows are on nowadays. In your day, wasn't it like Westerns? Wasn't it Westerns was like the main media thing that you guys watched? TV Westerns, TV movies about Westerns?
I don't know why I'm talking to you. I just don't know why you just brought up Westerns constantly. Westerns, yes. I'm going to go home and watch The Unforgiven this afternoon.
I love a Western, as you know.
Here's Sean. Sean, go ahead.
Can I download this song on Schmecklify?
See, now I don't want this to turn in to something. Yes. This is not...
Because people feel like they need to come forward and bully him.
Yes.
This is what the majority needs to do.
All right, here's Bud. Bud is very supportive of Mitzvah Kid. Go ahead, Bud.
Hey, it's Ed. Don't get me wrong. That was terrible, that kid singing. But I support him in the sense that, you know, if he can approach this as like a tongue-in-cheek thing, you know, the times are changing, Ron. You know,
I said that.
Nowadays, yeah, it's like, you know, they get these quick YouTube hits, and that's the entertainment that they have now. It's, you know.
Yes, but the entertainment could still be somewhat cool. It doesn't all have to be corny.
And it should be good.
Yeah. And it doesn't all have to be Frozen. Right. He's a boy at 13. He shouldn't be singing Frozen.
And, like, you know, if you think of it this way, if you're a parent, and would you want your kid falsely confident that he could win a fight? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You wouldn't want him to be in a dangerous situation. I feel art is the same way. Do you want this kid to think that he's...
But what about...
He's going to age out of this, and it's not going to be cute.
Within 6 months.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he's going to have to deal with it when he's 16. But I'm sure that he goes to a nice private school now.
Right.
But it's not always going to be that way. And he's going to school with kids that he's grown up with, and he probably does this act and everybody agrees with it. But now they're letting it go viral. You know? There's kids in Korea going like this. That kid a dick. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be careful with it. But there is, you know, where all the people come back and think that, you know, Don't Stop Believin' is a great song, is where we are now.
I know it's dress sissy.
Yeah, like they look backwards and go like, that must have been a great age. You guys were listening to Don't Stop Believing all the time. No, we weren't. Chuck or Dan, go ahead.
Ronnie B, I love you and Gail on the air together. You guys
Thanks.
are great. My observation was that it couldn't possibly be Jenny Hutt singing on that video because she didn't challenge Chris Rock to get Mitzvah.
Well, the thing is, I challenge Chris Rock to hate the cops now. This is Jenny Hutt. Wait, I'm just looking at my Twitter and I'm going to delete that video.
I wish
Ron
we could pull that
tricked me.
video up.
Ron tricked me. We should have ghost videoed it or whatever it was and played it every day. I'm sure we played it on the air, so at least we have the audio that we can go back and get. Kevin in Virginia. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, buddy. I grew up blue collar in Pittsburgh. You know, I'm 41, man, and I see all of my friends that have kids nowadays, especially boys, and they get to that age, and it's like they all just start dancing and singing and carrying on, and it's really uncomfortable. I mean, in my opinion, they're just being raised a little, you know, I don't know, feminine or something.
Feminine isn't even the least of his problems. You know what I mean? Feminine is about his fourth or fifth problem.
I mean, sure, this kid is clearly a little effeminate, but that's not what I think the problem is here.
Yeah, not at all.
The problem would be an intense amount of confidence in
something that he shouldn't be overly look, should he be doing this in his room? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dance around your room singing into a hairbrush. But you've got 112,000 hits on this. You know? This is like if you were dancing around in your room, singing Blurred Lines into a hairbrush, right? And then you turned around and the curtains were open and you saw your neighbors laughing. You would have to dive on the ground, not still doing it in the window to them, which is what he's doing. And I'm going to use it in a term that he can understand. You don't want to be shaking your naked tuchus out there to the world.
In fact, I think his femininity is maybe one of the few things that I like about him. Like, I like that he's a little weirdo. I think that's cool.
That is cool.
It's cool to be a weird kid.
But be protected from it. Here's Eric. Go ahead.
Yeah, after listening to that, not only do I now want Iran to get a bomb, I want them to drop it.
Let's see. Now, that's not...
Look what we've opened up.
Yeah, that's not where we were going with this. We're on his side. We want him to do well. And the kid obviously has some humor about him.
Sure. I mean, he's weird. He's got a sense of humor.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's great. Maybe this thing is great. Yeah. Maybe we love this kid. We just want to protect. We want to run wingman for him.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to beat him up in the locker room for
Look,
this.
I want everybody to understand this. This kid's under my protection right now. Anyone touches this kid, it's like touching me, and you're dead. Now.
I mean, I had a buddy like that growing up.
Yeah, imaginary.
No. I had real friends.
Did you?
You know, he's a weird kid, you know? A little feminine, if you know what I mean? A little born this way. I looked out for him.
Sure you did. With that short haircut of yours.
FH since day one.
Anna in Chicago.
Hi there,
Yeah.
Brian. I just had this conversation with my kids last night, and I'm totally going to use this video as the reason why they shouldn't be posting things
Good.
online. They don't realize, even beyond the bullying thing, you have to realize that stuff is going to be out there until they're like 35. I don't want to be looking at something like that. It's bad enough that there are pictures of me from that era.
Yeah.
But now, and I would kill my parents if they allowed me to do something like that. So I told them they can take all the videos they want, they can save them until they're adults, and then they can post them.
It's so funny that this is something that you have to worry about now. You're not uploading that. It's not good enough.
There's such a huge gap there between like what kids are working with and then like We didn't have that. We didn't have the ability to just release ourselves to the world that way. And it's so weird that kids can do that. And it's encouraged.
Well, it's encouraged because the parents, they have to take the kids to each thing. So that it's like you're part of it. Instead of having Kids World, you're there to see your kid the first time doing all like you're in tumbling class till 3:15, and then we're going to volleyball, and you're just like, why are you with me all the time? Let me go out with my friends. And then you and your friends are going to sit in a hot tub while me and their parents look at you.
I didn't have any activities as a kid. I just wanted to come home, do my own thing, hang out with my friends.
Well, you had those friends. You had like a good neighborhood.
I had a good crew.
Where you guys were running around together, but it never, there wasn't a thing like where, oh, you guys are going down to the woods? Well, us parents will come with you.
Yeah. Let us do what we need to do in the woods. The way children do. Children
whatever
rule.
happens. You're not
it's like Lord of the Flies in there.
Well, here's the thing. It's not going to be, there's never been a book called Tom Sawyer and his mom. That's not an adventure for a child. And that's when me and my mom got on a raft. She told me I was doing good. Jim, Westchester.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to say I felt like you were kind of busting on him a lot with his performance, but I thought the lyrics were hilarious.
Oh, no, they weren't. The lyrics were cheesy and stupid and perfect for a 13-year-old.
You know what
I mean? Like, they're perfect for him.
Yeah.
But you would not... Here's the problem. You wouldn't want to get on the Tonight Show with this act, and when you put this up, now 100,000 people have seen it and get to judge it. This should be done for his family, dancing around the living room. And this stuff where, like, it's my special day and I'm the king.
That was the cringiest part.
That's the part.
Like, congratulating him on saying that he's going to be spoiled and treated like a king. And
remember,
not a great lesson,
this thing isn't like a fun thing. This is an invitation to come to his party. He's sending this to people. And like you used to want to act like, hey, the Hendersons are coming over. I want you to act like a gentleman today. You know what I mean? This is going to be your bar mitzvah. This is you turning into a man, right? Is what the religion believes. Is that a man right there? It's the exact opposite. And stop calling it a mitzvah. Why does this religion mean so little to you? You don't have the time to say bar?
Not enough time. I need to know if it's bar or bat. Please specify.
I thought Bat was the girls.
Yeah.
Oh, because of him?
Oh. No, that's...
The boy is bar, girl is Bat.
Bat.
Here's Joe in Jersey. You're on the Run of Fez show.
How you doing, Ron?
Good.
So I work in education. I work with young kids, like 8-year-olds. And I have a big problem where basically it's in the culture of the administration that you're not allowed to tell them that they're bad at something. You're not allowed to judge them, put them in their place. So they come out of school with this overblown sense of self-worth and self-confidence that I really believe it does damage to them as they become adults. They don't realize why people are criticizing me. Why do I stink at this,
This is why I could never be a teacher, because my nickname would be Whiplash. Because I would be telling people this isn't good enough.
Well, I think we can agree you shouldn't say, like, you're bad at things, right? I mean,
Why?
like, maybe...
If you've had
but there's a way to approach things. Like, there's a way to do constructive criticism. Like, if you were in the workplace and you had somebody that you were working with and they kind of sucked at something and you were, like, trying to help them do something, the proper way to approach it would be to say, like, hey, this is what you need to work on and, like, whatever.
For the first 10 times. Well, then after a while, you're like this. Why aren't you picking this up? You stink.
I suppose, yeah.
This is the 10th time I've come to this with you.
Right.
You stink. I'm not going to let you feel good about yourself until the day you're fired. You know?
You can't fire kids from school.
I could. We're going to have to let you go from 3rd grade. You just don't belong here.
It's not working out.
But we do like this kid.
Yeah, of course.
We just think he needs to reel it in a little bit.
Yeah, and have this weird thing be private to your family, and not share it with the world. Who
you should say, look, to this kid, this would be worse than if you put out your special time videos for people when we don't bother you in the bedroom.
This is way more awkward.
I would say to him, I don't want everybody punching you and kneeing you in the side of the head.
This is a recipe for that.
Like when I went to school, I remember my mom said this to me all the time. Try to fit into the crowd. Just get in the middle of them. Get in the middle of them and run in the middle of that herd. And when the older boys grab someone, that's when you run. Let that person go down. Hang around the handicapped kids or somebody with a hair lip. And when the older boys are punching him, take off.
It's a good lesson.
You got to keep moving all the time.
Survival mode.
Yeah, you got to be able to survive.
But is this the new survival mode? I mean, is this the new... I don't know. It's like, maybe kids are like, how come you don't have a social media footprint?
That's the problem. This is why it's difficult to parent, because you don't know what's the right thing to do. You know? You don't know if you should say, yeah, I guess get your Instagram out there. It's the only way people are going to know you. I don't know, son. Life is moving too fast. You and your robot know what to do more than I do. Max, Richmond.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, buddy.
I got 4 kids in junior high and elementary school, and what I'm seeing is stuff like this kid. He uploads this thing, gets 120,000 views of saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, and then his whole town knows about it, and once one person says, that was a stupid video, you look like a fool, and he cries, I'm being bullied. Or more specifically, his mom says, stop bullying my baby, stop bullying my baby. They've changed the definition of bullying to the point where kids can't be kids. If you say anything that isn't totally supportive of everything somebody does, you're labeled as a bully. And it's the moms. It's our generation labeling them.
I don't know why you're not allowed to say to somebody, dude, that's not cool. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what really changed is instead of teaching the lesson of how to deal with people criticizing you, people picking on you, the lesson became stopping people from doing it. Which I'm not saying is 100% bad either. I mean, it's a huge scale here. Obviously, there's extreme cases of bullying where these kids have to be stopped. What they're doing is sick. This is like, and that's a lesson that needs to be learned. But then there's also something that was like, you don't want your kid to be thin-skinned either. You know.
But here's the other thing:
you want your kids to be strong.
If you keep telling every kid that they're special and every kid that he's creative, you have a generation of kids who run out and spend $250,000 on a college education that they signed for, and then show up in New York or Los Angeles as if the world is ready to give them the money back and then give them the money to make a movie. When the fact of the matter is, it's horrible and tough to go to any of those places.
Yeah.
It's a long shot. It's
really
gambling.
Hard revelation.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, nobody is welcoming me on the other side to be like, you're a genius. Here you go, genius. Oh, look at all this art that you made while you were in college. You don't have to worry anymore.
Here's how hard it is. Look at American Idol and see how many people line up when you see all those cities. Even the person who wins probably isn't going to make any money out of it.
Yeah.
And yet you're going in debt year after year. How is that not bullying? How is lying to kids saying, oh, you're really great at everything when they're not bullying?
Well, that's because, I mean, certainly when I was a kid, the blue-collar jobs were sort of looked down upon. It's like you don't want a job like that. Where I think the generation before, it wasn't demonized in school. Like, there was this idea of a blue-collar job was a bad job to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they didn't want, you have to go to college or else or else you'll have a blue-collar job. Like, that was said like it was a negative
Yes.
thing.
The last thing you want to be is a plumber, an electrician.
Or have a skill.
Or someone who works in construction and builds actual buildings and bridges.
Yeah.
I don't, and that's because the only people that we're showing our kids to is teachers who have master's degrees who have been in that world forever. And in the meantime, we have infrastructure in this country that is crumbling because no one has updated it in the last 50 years. But they can make a website for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you want me to edit a video, I can do that. But I can't stop that building from falling down into the river.
And part of the problem, I think, with that is if you're looking at the way a teacher approaches a class, and again, this is when I was a kid, it's like you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, if you're super smart, right? So it's like these kids who are naturally smart, they just take to learning very well because they learn in the way that a classroom works. That works for them. But the kids who don't, you're then encouraged to be creative because that's the next best thing. You know what I mean? If you don't have the natural smarts, if you don't have like a very sharp memory, which is most of what
Or
education.
Google.
Yeah.
What we want is kids with a Google in their brain.
Exactly. So I think like the next step is, okay, so what can you do creatively? Again, just as long as you're pushing them away from a blue collar job, I think that like creativity is like that second tier.
But here's the other part of this. When it comes to creativity, right? Would, let's say, Pollock have been Pollock, right? Mm-hmm. If everyone told him everything that he did was great? No. He was shunned. So he broke through and found a new way to paint. Kerouac couldn't get a book published for like the first, like he had written like 8 books or something before they put out On the Road. Most of the guys that you like were told over and over and over, you're not good enough, and they kept going. No one was sitting there telling Miles Davis, oh, thank God you're here. You know what I mean? This is so great. Look at Miles, is so good. You know, he went up against the thing and had to change it. There's a lot to be said for people who persevere, not just constantly get massaged. Here's Doug. Doug, you're on
Hey, what's
Bennington.
up, guys?
Yeah.
Hey.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm a school counselor in elementary school, and I agree with you that any kind of real hardcore bullying needs to be slammed and some real serious consequences. But 95% of what I deal with that people think is bullying is just age-appropriate teasing. It's socialization. It's lessons that need to be learned early because we're going to unleash them onto the world, and these kids are not prepared for what's out there. I always tell them that self-esteem is not being told how wonderful you are all the time. It's about trying and falling down and persevering and getting back up. And, we're just not preparing them. They're going to go out into the world and they're going to be really surprised.
Well, the physical kind of bullying that you're talking about, when we say, okay, there's actual laws that nobody can do that to another human being.
Right,
so
absolutely.
We're covered in that. If somebody is bashing someone's head against a locker, then you call the police. It's not just fun. But if somebody is acting like, hey, you're wearing the weird pants, right? You got 2 things. A, either hear that, turn around or fit in, or B, be Tim Burton. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just go, oh, you think that's weird? What do you say what I wear tomorrow? I'm coming in here like a Mad Hatter. That kid is cool. Not the kid that everybody loves and supports.
Right. And that kid gets to be cool. Like, he gets his chops by standing against something that is pushing against him. You know what I mean? Like, that's what creates, that's what allows a weird person to be cool. You know what I mean? When you're like, yeah, I totally know that what I'm doing. I'm well aware.
And look, let me just say this, because we brought up Bowie this morning and that horrible thing Joe List said.
I know.
Now,
sorry that happens.
What do you think when I'm a kid, I see a guy like Bowie looking like that, sounding like that, growing up the way that I did, where, a gay person was deep in the closet. You know what I mean? I mean, if there were gay people, they weren't saying it. So then I got to sit there at 13, 14 years old and go, I guess gay is cool because Bowie is cool.
Right.
I mean, talk about a breakthrough. So I've never had that homophobic thing because I had gay heroes. I had black heroes. I had Jewish heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't just, no one had to say, love the Jews. They didn't need to say that to me because I had Woody Allen. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I wish I was a New York Jew. Oh, look at P-Funk. I wish I was black.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was the thing. No one needed to tell me, hey, black people are cool. I know, George Clinton. Gotcha. But now we want to say, everybody there's no win, there's no loss. Stop it. Al in New York.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Good morning. I was just, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Bar Mitzvah industrial complex, but this kid may have just been pushed into it by his mom, who was like Kyle's mom on South Park. And
What you're saying is interesting because you've got to blow away everybody else. I know at the very least he was encouraged. I don't know if he was pushed into it, but he certainly was.
He certainly has a stage mom. I mean, you couldn't make a video of that.
I'm going to change this and say stage dad. Look how thrilled the dad is in this. Everybody but the brother is thrilled in this.
I know.
The brother looks like he wants to go Columbine.
He's in hell.
Mike, Connecticut. How are you, Mike? You're in Bennington.
Good, Ron. How are you?
Cool.
I just wanted to call in and just, I feel like you guys are leaving the parents out of the equation. I had this similar situation happen with my son last year where one of his YouTube videos went viral, and it was a wacky experience and a strange experience, but I think as parents, we did the right thing and stepped in and kind of kept things under control and kept them grounded.
What did your kid do that he went viral?
He had just posted a video on YouTube, which I knew he was doing. I wasn't even really paying attention to it because I knew nobody was watching, and Reddit picked it up. And it was just, he had posted a video. He had gotten one like on one of his videos, and he did a video about how excited he was. And that just, Reddit picked it up and it went viral. And by the end of the day, he was on Comedy Central with Chris Hardwick.
Oh my God. See, that's the weird thing. If Reddit gets behind something.
I feel like I kind of remember this kid. It's ringing a bell to me.
A kid who just got a like was, what was the name of the video? Because we want to go check it out.
If you search Sir Fedora, that's his YouTube name.
All right, we've already found him. And how many hits on that?
On that video?
Yeah.
3 million?
About 3 million. Now, so when this thing started taking off like this, what did you do to kind of chill him and chill the situation?
Just pulled him offline immediately. I mean, scared the shit out of me.
Because there's a lot of cruel, weird people out there.
It was, we've met a ton of great people. It's been an amazing experience, but there are just some terrible, nasty people out there. And like when you were talking about, the kids not getting any, negative reinforcement or any bullying or things like that. I mean, him and I will sit down and we'll read through his comments together or his tweets together. And I mean, there's just some folks out there that say some terrible things to a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, and I mean, it used to be this was what they aimed at celebrity, but now it's aimed at everybody. But we're not even set up for this in school. We're told, these things don't exist, but they exist in spades. For sometimes I'll just go around and read comments on even the New York Post, and people say horrible things about victims. It's just insane.
It's crazy.
It is insane.
All right, we're going to put your kids' video on and see if it should have been that monster viral.
Oh, no more. I've had enough. But I didn't see either.
Oh, wait, I did. Hey, YouTube, what is up? It's Jackson here, and today I'd like to tell you we did it. We hit the 1 like. And I know that you guys are going to be like, dude, it's just 1 like, but it's still awesome that I know that you guys are there. Like, even though you're not there, you're there. I just still think this is pretty awesome. That you guys are actually sticking with it. So actually, I've made a little thing on iMovie that is coming out today or tomorrow, either one, and it's gonna be awesome. And I hope you guys love it. But I know I could just merge it with this video, but I'm like, nah, I'm too lazy. But I should be having a few things coming out, like a few reviews. Yeah, a few reviews. I'm just looking around, making sure they're all still here. Like, yeah, I can't believe we have a like. So I'm going to ask something big. Can we hit the 3 to 5 likes? Something just swipe that up. But whatever, we're back. And yeah, the fact that I hit 5 likes, I have 1 like on my video. I know it's not much, but the fact that 1 person actually took the time to like the video, it doesn't even matter. I'm feeling awesome right now.
All right, Mike. So when this is obviously something you didn't think was going to be a big deal, and then 3 million people end up seeing it. Oh, he's gone.
I mean, completely insane. Like I said, I didn't care he was putting YouTube videos up because nobody was watching it.
Just him and his buddies, yeah.
Him and his buddies. I mean, even if that, I mean, most of his buddies are just filming their own things. They're not even paying attention to what their friends are doing. They're just posting. Nobody's looking or watching. So this was, it was a wild run.
And how long did you think it stayed crazy before it settled down again?
Well, we're in the car right now heading up to Boston to some nerd convention or something. He's dragged me kicking and screaming into this entire culture, and I mean, it's just, you can't look at the YouTube kids as celebrities or as entertainers. They're just kids being kids, and it just picks up this crazy traction.
See, that's the thing about that Mitzvah thing. None of us should have seen it. This should have been seen by his family alone.
Right.
Absolutely.
And we're sitting around, we're judging him against Manny on Modern Family. It's just not fair. That kid has raters.
I hadn't even watched my son's video before it went viral. And, there's a hole in the roof, in his ceiling, in his room. You think I wanted that, like, publicly, across the internet? It's been fixed, by the way. I just want them.
All right, thanks, dude.
Let everybody know.
Sam Roberts Show, only on OP Radio.
All right, here's one that says, and let's see if we agree with this at all. Musicians make good actors. Actors make bad musicians. All right, let's play with this a little bit, because I don't know whether it's true or not. To be totally honest, I think we're only talking about singers. It's hard to tell whether Richard Gere is a fine trumpet player.
Sure.
I know he played on stage with Van Morrison, so that's got to count for something. But is it more embarrassing to see a rock star act or an actor be a rock star?
I think it's hard for me to come up with examples like right away. I feel like more often you see a singer, they're in a role and they do a great job. Mm-hmm. Vice versa is a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, clearly, I think all rock stars want to be actors. All actors want to be rock stars.
Well,
that's
they all
for sure.
started the same way. They sang and they danced and they performed when they were kids. I mean, to say, let's say Justin Timberlake, is he?
JT.
Yeah. He acted before he was a pop star, so to act like, hey, he can really act too,
right.
He's always acted. Now, I think he does make a better pop star than he does an actor, but is that because I saw him being a pop star?
No, I think he's just a better pop star.
A lot of people like to say he's a great actor. People like to say that.
I don't. I've watched him do a lot of stuff.
Who says he's a great actor? What, because of The Social Network?
Yeah.
They love it. And that Black Snake Moan.
Oh, yeah, Black Snake Moan. He got a little bit of a pop for that. But the Time movie was awful.
Oh.
And then the rom-com thing that he did with was just terrible.
And they love him on SNL.
He's SNL's favorite guy. He's Jimmy Fallon's favorite guy to be a guest on The Tonight Show.
They're BFF.
Here's Dan, Indiana. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, Ronnie, how are you?
Hey.
So, I was just listening to you about the pop star and musician. I remember Patrick Swayze doing She's Like the Wind for Dirty Dancing. That was pretty good, I thought.
She's like the wind. Yeah, well, for you it was. For you it worked.
For some reason, my parents owned this on cassette. The fucking soundtrack.
For some reason,
to Dirty Dancing.
because it was their whole life. They were dirty dancing up the goddamn mountains before you were born. They were both dance instructors.
Oh, weird.
At the Pines.
She's out of my league. Just a fool to believe I have anything she needs.
You can hear the Swayze in that. All right, do you guys know, in the 70s, John Travolta had a top 10 hit pre-Saturday Night Fever called Let Her In.
What? I did not know this.
All right, look, first of all, make sure you get a live version when he's on, like, Dick Clark or something. Because you guys are always bragging about John Travolta, right?
Love him.
And you're always bringing up what a great fucking singer he is. Now I want you guys to watch Let Her In. All right. Just stop being in a hurry, Chris, and just put it up.
Ago, but at the time we did this, by the time we see it, we did not have the album. This man you will recognize from Welcome Back, Kotter, is the man who plays Barbarino.
This was a top 10 record. That's how big Welcome Back, Kotter was that summer. Here's Rick, California.
Yeah, I only mentioned Richard Gere because you did. He did the piano playing scene in Pretty Woman, and that was a concerto that he wrote. But the best actor I think that's ever sang is Robert Downey Jr. You should bring the Sting duet up on YouTube and listen to it.
Yeah, he actually Robert Downey Jr. put out an album before. But are you guys voting down on John Travolta? You don't think he had it to be a pop star?
That was pretty silly.
Gonna let her in. Gonna let her in. All right, let's see the Robert Downey Jr. No, that's the problem with a lot of actors is they fall into doing the person. I go to Men Like Me. That is a thing that he put out himself, and he's singing alone. Because, by the way, Sting also acted, so you'd have to go Sting, a better act. So you got the two of them. Is Sting a better? This is we'll do this. Is Sting a better actor than Robert Downey Jr. as a singer? So we got to see them both, but let's play. This is Robert Downey Jr. doing a solo. All right, let me stop. You guys are really being that rough on him?
Yeah.
I'm very charmed by him, but I'm gonna say no.
All right.
I'm not picking him on the voice. I'm not turning the chair around. Is that what happens on the show?
Yeah,
People turn the chair
you
around?
turn the chair around. You wouldn't turn your chair around for him?
No, I would just remain looking in a different direction.
I always feel bad for that
whatever
person.
they do.
I might turn the chair around. Not that harsh.
Just
Jesus.
to see what's going on. He sounds cute.
Here's Al, you're on.
Hey, guys. Hey, back in the 70s, around probably the same time as Welcome Back Cotter guy, David Soul, Starsky and Hutch fame.
Yeah.
My wife has the LP and the 45. She was sure it was going to be a collectible. It's pretty awful. The ballad,
Here it is. Don't Give Up on Us, Baby is the name of it. Here's Chris in Indiana.
Hey, Ron, I want to bring up Rick Springfield because when I was a kid, my sisters used to love him, and they used to watch him on General Hospital, and they used to play his music. So I didn't know if he was a singer or an actor.
Well, he was a singer first, and then an actor. Certainly was more popular as a singer, but he was just back out with the Foo Fighters, and Dave Grohl is a big song of Love Is Alright Tonight, and I would have to say he came in and did something here with a guitar and singing. He was pretty amazing.
Oh, it was great to watch.
You were never even a guy who liked him.
No, but I saw him perform. It was awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, Dave Grohl is crazy about him. Billy in Arkansas.
Hey, man, I just wanted to say, don't forget about David Bowie. He's a great singer and a pretty good actor.
I don't think he's anywhere close to being as good as an actor as he is as a singer. But I would also say the same thing about Frank Sinatra or Elvis or anyone who's actually moved into that kind of stardom.
He might not be as good, but I think he's a good actor. I think he's good.
I think I'm just so happy to see Bowie like on screen. If he shows up in something, I'm like, sure, all right, this is
What
great.
do you like him in?
Well, The Man Who Fell to Earth, I like that movie. It's so weird.
You know you don't like that movie. That movie's too weird for you. You just like seeing Bowie rolling around on the ground.
Zoolander, he shows up for a quick scene.
He plays Bowie. That's cheating.
What about Basquiat?
Basquiat, where he plays, yeah. But are you going to compare that to... What?
Everything good is yours. God. I don't know.
But are you going to compare that to Gene Genie? You know what I mean? Are you going to compare that to Ziggy Stardust?
I don't even know what's good anymore. It was a great impression.
It was an
solid.
impression. Is that acting?
Yes.
An impression is acting.
Yes, you're acting like the person.
All right, call Frank Calano and tell him he's a great fucking actor.
Got it. Frank.
Call him up. Good. I want you to tell him.
He'll answer as John Madden.
What a great role for you.
Here's Kevin in Texas.
Yeah, here's a little obscure one for you. Paul Giamatti and Andre Brower singing Try a Little Tenderness.
Terrible.
In duets.
Anyone who thinks it's good is a fucking idiot. And I've had people go, it's amazing. And it's karaoke. It honestly is. It's terrible. Dennis in Kansas City.
Yes, sir. Do you remember New Jack City with Mick Jagger in it?
I've seen Mick do a lot of stuff, yes.
Yeah, usually it's pretty good. That was awful.
Well,
Dan Aykroyd and the Blues Brothers.
But let's just slow down for a second, and I'm gonna lay this shit on you.
All right.
I think Mick Jagger acts as a rock and roll singer. I think that his greatest performance is the performance. I don't think that we really know Mick at all. We just know Mick Jagger, rock star. I don't think we know David Bowie at all. So these people that were even saying, oh, they're better, singers than they are actors. These performers, which has not everything to do with voice or voice control, the performance that goes on, I think is acting.
I would agree with that, yeah. 100%.
Thanks for being on board.
I'm not against you.
Let's jump over here to G-Man. G-Man, go ahead.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up,
Yeah.
buddy?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, one of my favorites, and I don't know if he ever did any vocalists, but Steve Martin with Steve Canyon Rangers, man, he can pick the shit out of a banjo.
He can. He's a hell of a musician. But then you got to listen to it. Here's Sean.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about Flea. I always thought he was good in like The Big Lebowski, Back to the Future too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of walk-on stuff, though.
He's like a crazy guy. If you know, that's it.
I have one for you.
Yeah.
Sandra Bernhardt put out a single in the 90s, Manic Superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was killer. I thought it was so cool.
Well, her live act, she does those songs all the time. So she is somewhat of a cabaret act. What's really funny about her is her band just stands there. They don't know when she's going to sing at all. So here's the thing about her. She is a comic first. And then the actor's singer thing goes into that act as well.
But she sells it so well.
Yeah.
She's like full committal with it.
So your commitment, so you would give her what though? Acting above all?
I would give her comic above all. And then I would say then acting and
all right, but let's do this. Comedy, is it acting? Is a comedian an actor?
There is a crossover point, and it might not be fully acting, but I think most great comics have a character.
A persona.
A persona, yeah.
Right.
Even if that persona is themselves, it's like a bigger them or a greater them or
Right.
a more confident them or even a less confident them because that's the funniest aspect of their personality.
All right, good call. So at the center of all this is acting, whether it's singing, doing comedy, dancing. Dancing is kind of acting.
Sure, but it could be in life, I think, that we all kind of play roles to come off the way we want to look. And if you're in a job situation and you want to be a more confident person, you walk into a room, into a meeting.
All right, so why would, let's say, a Stanley take the collar on everything? Why would he walk in, bumble into a meeting? Why does he bumble through life? Why does he house food instead of enjoying it?
That's his
I do
character.
enjoy it when I house
That's
it.
his character.
That's why would I fucking have this character? Why would I be acting like? Why would this be?
It's a great character. It's beloved.
It's detrimental to me.
But you make us feel sorry for you.
I don't want
and that
to-
works.
The best of Bennington will be right back.